Hey there, survivors. Cougar here, back with more Orcs Must Die 3 gameplay. We are not picking up right where we left off at the end of the last episode because doing stuff on Rift Lord difficulty, I've hit kind of I hit a point where I realized that I really needed to go back and do some grinding and unlock a bunch of new traps and weapons and abilities, trinkets and so on in my spellbook. So I have done that, and I have unlocked everything in the spellbook. Now I've upgraded almost everything in the spellbook, and I was having so much fun just grinding these early missions that I just wanted to do some of them with you using some of the traps and
Maximilian is gone.
and weapons and trinkets that we had never used before. Also, you know, with some tips on grinding.
That is definitely not an order rift.
Yeah, I'd like to tell you I knew that, but I didn't.
You are correct, Kelsey. That rift is different. Quickly, get traps placed and stay on the move. I will instruct you further when I can.
How do we hear her when we can't see her?
Telepathy, genius.
Genius.
Now, let's try out these traps for real.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so some new traps that we've never used before. We got the giant swinging wall trap, and we've got these crushers overhead. The virtue of the crushers being that they're very inexpensive. They're only 500, so you can put down 3 crushers for the price of, say, one of those big swinging mace traps. And what else do I have? I'm using the Scepter of Domination, which we've never used before. I'm using the Wind Belt, which we've never used before. And I've got the Trap Reset Trinket. Passive on that will make the traps reset faster, or you can fire off the active and actually reset all the traps. It has a very long cooldown, but that could come in very handy, and we'll do that at some point. And again, I'm doing this on War Mage difficulty because if you're grinding for skulls, what you really want is you want the 2 skull bonus for taking absolutely no damage, the untouchable bonus. And that way you're ensured of getting at least 3 skulls on every level, and then you'll get 1 just for finishing the level, and you'll get 2 for being untouchable. Beyond that, you know, maybe you get a skull. Even if you've done that mission many times, you may get additional skulls for, say, getting a new high score, a new par time, you know, new fastest time, something like that. New high combo, new high kill streak. Those are all ways you can earn additional skulls even after you. Let's use the Trap Reset Trinket just to show you how it works. Oops. A little late now. There was nobody in the kill box, but I missed my first shot. Oh well. Okay, now what? How about some of the ceiling ballistas, which we've never used before? Put a bunch of those back here.
Be better. More enemies on the way.
I don't know that they're going to be. Yeah, that kill box may be a little too far away for them to be engaging, but they'll engage anything that makes it through the kill box. Scepter of Domination, single fire does damage, arcane damage. Secondary fire charms the creature, or the orc. So they'll fight for you for a little bit of time, and then when they're killed, they will explode and damage everything around them. And then you saw how the Wind Belt works. It just blows everything back a bit, which can be really useful. Like, if we let them come around the side here, we could be blowing them all into the lava, things like that. But I don't think much is going to make it back this far, not on War Mage difficulty. And not with all these crossbows back here, ballistas.
The rift remains protected.
The rift remains protected. Can we put another what? How about some more of these? I got room for 1 more. And what else? Another crusher. And then these guys are probably done. The Trap Reset Trinket has almost recharged. We'll be using that soon. But yeah, it's just fun to use new traps and stuff and see how they all work. New weapons. I just charmed that medium orc, and then when he died, he blew up. Let's use the Trap Reset Trinket. So everything fires if they're in the kill box. And that's it.
If
That's,
only they
I
had
mean,
a
it's
leader.
5 skulls, but let's see how many skulls we actually earned from it. Probably only 3, because I've done it many times, just for grinding purposes. But 4 skulls, you know, that's 4 skulls. I'm not going to argue. We didn't pick up any, none dropped on the map, no skulls picked up. New high score. Did not get a new highest kill streak or a new highest combo. We did get a perfect victory skull. That's the skull that you're going to get basically every time, that 1 skull. And then 2 for untouchable. So there you go. And why don't we continue on to the next mission, and again we'll use all different traps and weapons and such that we've never used before.
Man, the sorceress is really tossing us into the deep end of the pool.
Yeah, it's way more intense than the usual training sessions.
This is not part of your training. There's something different about these new rifts. Every war mage in the Order is investigating.
Finally, we get to be real heroes like Maximilian.
I will settle for you two staying alive and keeping the Orcs out of the rift.
Yeah, okay. All right, so this one is a good one for the wind belt, so I'm going to hang on to the wind belt. We're going to swap out the big swinging trap with the zapper, the wall charger. And then what else? What else? I've replaced one of the ceiling traps with a dart spitter. I'm going to replace the other one with the swinging mace. And see how that goes. And, oh, what else? Oh, we've got a lot of ceiling traps here. Well, we'll have to save some of those ceiling traps for another mission. I think we'll just stick with what we have here. Another thing that we've never used before is the decoy. Another thing we've never used before is the Dwarven Hammer, the War Hammer. So we'll have to try out all these new things. Let's get some traps down before we kick this off, though. I think we're going to do something like
This should work.
this, push them all through the center so that I can use my wind belt to blow them back over the edge. What else? We have a little bit more money, but not much. I don't think we're going to need much. Just put down a little bit more damage to start.
Ready
And we've got the
indeed.
Bladestaff with the... It's a vampire Bladestaff, so I've upgraded it to restore a little bit of health every time it hits something.
They've broken through a gate.
You can see, very effective on War Mage difficulty. Not quite as effective on Rift Lord, obviously, because everything's a little bit tougher. Wind Belt, super effective. Oh, did he tag me? I think we might have just lost our 2 skull bonus for being untouchable. I think that guy might have tagged me. Which is the risk you take when you're using a melee weapon,
always
right?
ready. More enemies on the way.
So unless you're totally dedicated
Our enemies are breaking through elsewhere.
to your melee weapon, I can't recommend it if you're grinding, because it does
Here they come.
reduce your chances of earning that 2 skull untouchable bonus. So I've got the wind belt completely upgraded, so it costs less mana to use. You can see it's barely costing me any mana, and it's just super. Oh, that's going to be a problem with them sitting over there and me with no ranged weapon. The game should realize that they're inaccessible to me and kill them automatically, but that's probably going to take a little bit of time. I have no. Yeah, the game's going to kill them soon. There's only one left over there. There's nothing I can do about it.
Seems winning comes very easy for
Okay, there
me.
we go. All right, what next? We want to see these shock zappers in action, so I'm going to make a kind of a weird kill box. I just want to push them off to the side so we can actually use some of these other traps. You can see them in action. Oh, I still got the trap reset trinket. I didn't even realize I forgot to change that out.
Cannot be. More
I'm going to
enemies
start
on the
down here
way.
again. Oh, I think everybody's starting up here. No, just this side is starting up here, but... Oh no, other side. Derp. A little late for me to blow them off the edge there now. We'll have to do it from here. Still effective. Wind belt's fun. Bye. Yeah, I could do this all day. Literally, because look at how little this mana is used. Like none. So I can just stand here and blow these guys over the edge all day long. One guy left down here, and then another guy over there who the game will kill soon.
A job well done.
Yeah, okay, let's see. They're probably going to be coming around this side too. Let's have some dart spitters down then as well.
This spot is perfect.
Not perfect. How about back here?
Cygnus was never as good at this as me.
And now, this time I'll let some of them get through so that you can see these traps in action. It's hard for me to just stand here, but I'm going to. I also have the trap reset trinket, so we'll just hang out here, catch anything the traps don't get, and use the trap reset trinket to help us out. All right, let's trap reset. I like the looks of that, the wall zapper, but I can't love it. And it's pretty good. I'm just such an old school grinder fan. And Dart Spitter, again, I can't love. It is effective, especially with the ice upgrade. But if I had to pick between a Dart Spitter and a Haymaker, I'll go Haymaker every time. Of course, it depends on what you're going for too, right? Because if you're going for some combos to increase your score or make more money, then you want something that's doing different types of damage. And if you get something like the Dart Spitter upgraded with cold damage, and then put it next to something like this, which is doing shock damage, lightning damage, and then pair it with maybe spikes, which are doing arcane damage, and then you've got the tar with the additional, so stuff is still slowed after it gets off the tar. At that point, you know, that's a 5 combo right there. I got lots of money. Well, we've definitely lost our bonus now, because I mean, we can take these guys without putting down any more traps. I was just trying to make it interesting. Trap reset trinket is about to reset. Yeah, let's do it. Almost.
These fools never
That's 5 skulls, but we missed our 2 skull bonus in terms of grinding. We're not going to get... We may get 1 skull here. Yay, 2 skulls because we got a new highest combo and the perfect victory. That's the 1 skull basically you'll always get unless you fail the mission. So let's see, should we go on with... Why don't we... Should we do one more? Let's continue with one more on War Mage difficulty and use, again, totally different traps and...
Sorceress, if only the oldest living war mage can open rifts, wouldn't that mean...
Yes, Kelsey. The oldest is Master Cygnus if he is still alive. But why would Master Cygnus open rifts for orcs to pass through from other worlds?
I know rifts provide magic, but this magic is not a positive force.
Keep the orcs at bay. I must travel elsewhere for answers.
Great. We fight the bad guys, she takes a vacation. It's cool.
I think we've used just about all the stuff that we've got now. We've used in other places at other times. I think the only thing we may not have used was the ceiling shock zapper, the shock zapper. Oh, and maybe wall blades. How about the wall blades? Let's see how those work. And the stone staff. Stone staff or blunderbuss? How about instead of the dwarven thing, well, let's do it this way. If we do dwarven in first slot and then that as our backup weapon, and that should be okay. What other ceiling trap? Can we bring another ceiling trap? I guess we saw the dart spitter in action. Now we've already seen the ballistas, but I think those are gonna actually come in handy here. Another potential ceiling trap is the confusion flower, which you can upgrade to go on ceilings as well as floors. But beyond that, I've swapped out the trap reset trinket for the Jar of Ghosts. Jar of Ghosts causes any enemy that hits the player to run away, and then if you use the secondary active, enemies turn around and run away. Okay, that should do. We've used the window of butterflies before, but you know, why not? Let's use that again. In fact, why don't we use it in place of the ballistas since we've already seen them work. Okay, all right, let's try this. Let's see how this goes. Let's do some of this.
Efficient placement equals efficient
And a window of butterflies up there. And then this, and the wall blades here. And actually, let's skip the wall right now. That'll give us enough money, I mean the butterflies, to put down a shock zapper up there.
It is about time to get started.
That wall blades, those wall blades look nasty. Alright, I do not know how the Dwarven Warhammer works. I have not used it at all. So, and we're using a melee weapon, which means we're unlikely to make our 2 skull bonus for being untouchable. So let's try the secondary. That's pretty fun. That is pretty fun. Yeah, it's a constant mana drain while you're using that, so you got to keep an eye on your mana. Seems pretty effective though. Definitely swings slower than the Bladestaff, but it does more damage. Definitely. All right, what else can we do here? One of those, another one of these, and another one of those. And we've got, that's it, we're out of money. Little guys, so we got Kobold Runners going. Why don't we try using our Stone Staff,
These little dudes are so fast.
and its
Those
secondary
kobolds,
to petrify
they'll
them.
also set off our traps.
But yeah, those shock zappers are very good anti-kobold weapons. Or traps, I should say. And the wall blades look great. Get them, wall blades. Here, I'm going to use the Jar of Ghosts so you can see what it does. I'm going to hit the active. Oops. Hit the active. Oops. What's going on? Oh, and everything turns around and runs back the other way. Did that orc say, can we go to Tom's party after this? I wasn't invited to Tom's party.
No one challenged me.
How about some more damage here? And then something else to... Should we do a little more pathing? Let's do a little more pathing and keep them under. Let's do a lot of these. Yeah, that's good. Okay, kick this off.
More enemies on the way!
Coming from the other door now.
Enemies are attacking on another front! Watch out! Our enemies have broken through again!
I do have the mana trinket with me. I mean, that kind of goes without saying. I never leave home without the mana trinket. I find it really, really helpful in tight spots. We've got that mana potion there. Should we just do this? I know that kobold got by. I'm not worried about it. He has all those traps to get through. There's nobody else around. Oh yeah, I like the Dwarven Warhammer. I think I like the Warhammer better than I like the Bladestaff. That is pretty funny. It looks more realistic than Orcs Must Die 2, too, because Orcs Must Die 2 as well. Because in the old one, he would sit on the hammer and spin it, and it would spin around with him on it, which looked a little bit silly in my opinion. Oh, you know, so we haven't used the window, butterfly window. Let's do that. And then another tar here. Tar there. And then another wall blade there. And nothing's getting through here. Go ahead. Go ahead, kobolds. Let's see how far you get. Not far. So the window of butterflies just opened. That's going to confuse them and make them turn around and go back the other way. Why don't we use the stone staff while we're here? It does ranged damage, physical damage, ranged, and then up close petrifies. I can meet my wall blades. The wall blades I do not think are completely upgraded. I think I need to do more kills with the wall blades, so it's good we're using a bunch here. Yeah. In fact, I'm going to hold off on doing any damage myself because I want the wall blades doing a lot. And I don't think anything's getting through anyway. I'm going to grab that money just for score reasons. But you see that the guy who tagged me as I came through there, because I've got the Jar of Ghost trinket, he turned around and started going the other way. Which is cool.
More enemies on the way!
Wise choice by the Great Vault.
Oh, he's so full of himself. How about, I got enough for a wall blade here. Oh, this looks bad. I mean, bad for them, not bad for us. I kind of feel sorry for them when the kill box is set up to this extent. I almost feel sorry for the orcs. I love the look of the wall blades. I just wish they were slightly more effective so that I could make better use of them. So maybe they are once they're fully upgraded. I haven't gotten there yet. Which is why I'm grinding with you. But we're not really grinding, because if I were really grinding, I would have restarted as soon as I took damage to be guaranteed of the 2 skull untouchable bonus. Oh, just horrible. Just brutal.
They're attacking a barricade.
No, they're not. That guy tagged me, which is why he had that green stuff over his head. Turned him around.
No one
Still made 5 skulls, but did not get the 2 skull untouchable bonus. But we're going to leave it at that. Just me doing a little bit of grinding with you, because that's what these games require sometimes. Tower defense games require you to do some grinding, and that's what we're doing. So I'll continue with Rift Lord difficulty missions. I think we're up to close quarters now, but I just wanted to do this grinding and get it out of the way, and so we had more options on addressing those more difficult Rift Lord missions. They are getting harder and harder. Thanks for watching, everybody. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. There'll be more coming. Stay safe, survivors.